T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Welcome to the Trap Talk Reptile Podcast. I'm your boy, MJ. I am back. What is good? If this is your first time tapping in, what is good? Welcome to the Reptile Podcast. That happens to be the coolest reptile podcast in the world, and you're tapped in right now. If this is your first time tapping in, do your boy MJ a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. That way you're on top of every single podcast, piece of video content that I put out, all the shorts. I'm pretty active on this channel. So if you want to stay on top of all that piece of content, smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You'll never be slapped on. Drop a comment, give me some feedback. Let me know how you like each episode with each guest. If you listen to this podcast on all the other major podcasting platforms such as Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on those platforms as well. I really appreciate you listening to this on any platform. And thank you for spending your life with me, man. This is an awesome time. I'm having a good time learning every single episode, and we have a great episode in store tonight. Somebody very special to me, and not only me, to a lot of people. But yeah, I'm very excited. I know there's a lot of people in the early birds. Shout out to everyone in the early birds, guys. Get things ready, get things cracking, because it's going to be on. I can tell you that much. I'm so excited to be back. It feels good. But tonight's episode is brought to you by Sim Container. All right, if you got eggs, put them inside of a Sim box. For sure, every egg that is produced here at the trap goes inside of a Sim box. If it's a Sim, it's a win. Less steps, less stress all day, every day. Shout out to John, shout out to Alex. I want to say appreciate you guys so much. Also, this episode is brought to you by the Reptarium, okay? And look who's on there. Look who it is, man. Some people right there repping the Reptarium. This was actually a picture taken the last time I was just at the Reptarium about 2 weeks ago. And yeah, what do you know? I got to hang out with the homie Jay. And I was very blessed enough to hang out with the Barczyks and hang out with some very important people of mine, man. So it was a great time. But I got to say, man, if you are ever curious about wanting to know what it is to go to the #1 reptile zoo in the country, you got to go to the Reptarium. It is the best, okay? The team behind there, everything that's evolving at that place, you got to go check it out. It is literally like Disneyland for a girl for a kid or an adult. Doesn't matter. I love it. Seriously. Love it. And I appreciate everyone putting in the work and holding it down for the Reptarium and getting ready for the big legendary legacy aquarium that Brian's shooting to go for, man. This is crazy, man. Listen, we're all rooting for Brian. And we're all basically on standby on what's going to happen with him, but so is he. But at the end of the day, he's keeping it moving. We all got to keep it moving for him. So shout out to all the positivity out there for Brian Barczyk. Shout out to everyone rooting for him, the entire reptile army. You guys are big. You guys are not messing around. So much love and respect. And also want to say shout out to Lori Barczyk. Hang in there, Lori. I know you're going through a lot. The entire Barczyk family, of course, you know, Noah and Jade and whatnot. But anyways, we love you guys. And there's a link in the description below if you want to go ahead and donate anything you like to the Legacy Aquarium. Okay, there's a GoFundMe, and then also if you drop a super chat tonight, any super chats that are dropped here on this episode until we hit that goal is going to be sent over to that GoFundMe as well. Okay, so at the I think like what YouTube pays me on the 22nd, so 22nd every month you should see that deposit from you guys. Okay, so thank you so much, I appreciate it. So let's do what we can to make this legacy happen for Brian, because that's what he wants. And yeah, let's get this shit cracking, man. Also, follow me on Instagram, okay? Make sure you go give me a follow on Instagram, Trap Talk God 619. Very active with my animals and you know, posting my projects and what I have going on. I love what I do every single day, and that's working with my beautiful animals and reptiles and talking to people who also are very passionate about working with the animals. So listen, I'm very in tune and very popping on Instagram. So go check me out, and also go follow the Instagram's podcast page as well, the Trap Talk Podcast. And then also, if you're looking for exclusive content, check this out. If you out there are tapped into this game and you want to get a lot more than what you've been seeing lately or what you've been getting back, if you want to be tapped in with some people who could get you almost anything you want and give you information, listen, if you want more Trap Talk content, exclusive content, go down to the very first link and join the Trap Talk Patreon family. Shout out to my Patreon members. I love you guys, man. The Patreon family is no joke. Coolest reptile family in the game, and that's a fact. Once you join the Trap Talk Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord that taps you in with over 160 trappers in the game. I'm telling you, man, we really mean it. We all love the animals, and that's what it's all about. So come test it. Come see what it's all about. I love my trappers. I love my Patreon members. You guys are my hot, and we're going to keep this shit going, man. Seriously, going to keep this shit going till the wheels pop. You feel me? Yeah, guys, listen. Go to trappodcast.com. I am coming out with a new shirt. There are a few orders out there. Some of you guys got those big boy sizes, and I'm all out. But hang tight. I'm going to be sending you an email because I'm going to go ahead and get you hooked up on the exclusive list for my new Trap Talk shirts that I have coming out for spring. Okay, so I got you. But anyways, if you want to get on that, make sure you head over to trappodcast.com. And then also make sure you go subscribe to my other YouTube channel. Another good way to stay on top of my animal projects and what I have going on is going to Trap Exotics on YouTube. Go to Trap Exotics, subscribe. Tomorrow I'm dropping a back-to-back vlog. Okay, obviously snake related, but then also one of my best friends since we were kids. He got his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and this guy, man, ever since I've known him, he's been training for this, and he's been in training for over 16 years. And I made the documentary the day he got promoted to black belt. And man, it's intense. It's awesome. You guys got to check it out. That's going down tomorrow. So head over to Trap Exotics, subscribe, be ready, set your reminder. And what is good? Who's here? Who's ready to rock and roll right now, dog? Oh my God, look at the super chats. I got to drink some water. Oh my God, who's here? Slithery Serpents. Long time no see. Thank you for being here, Slithery Serpents. Chip Indo for Shondo. What's good, playa? Pop Tart lover all day, every day. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Appreciate you being here, player, for sure. The homie Adler, Ad Dizzle for Shizzle. Serpent Eclipse Reptiles. Go give him a follow on Instagram. Shout out to his wife, Jamie, as well. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. And we just want to talk about OG Trap Talk Patreon members. We got Big Mike, 1776 Exotics in the building. Appreciate you, dog. Dog, seriously, this guy's been a real one since day one. Appreciate you. Melissa F in the building. What's up, Melissa F? Appreciate you being here. The homie Jordan from Heartland Reptiles, who just got his first reticulated python. Was it a dwarf clutch? Super dwarf? What was it, man? Drop the pairing, man. But congratulations to this guy pulling his first retic clutch. What a feeling. I got to tell you, it's the best feeling ever. The homie Row 5.0. By the way, Jordan, Trap Talk Patreon member. The homie Row 5.0, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Heath and Hatchery. Brian, this guy's definitely a Trap Talk Patreon member. It's my dog. Thank you for being here, Brian. Eden Then, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Appreciate you so much. Bluntman Reptiles in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member, also sitting on some trap heat that I sent him. Hope that's doing well for you, buddy. Nick Shanky. What's up, Nick Shanky? I wish Shanky fools tonight. Cannot wait. Thank you for being here. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Angel in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Reptafari in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Aiden Burke. What's up, Aiden? Thanks for tapping in. Deviant Glass in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Jason McCready in the building. What's up, player? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Piyush Patel. This guy. Piyush Patel. I hope I said that. Did I say that right? Is it Piyush or Piyush? Damn. This fool. I met this guy at Tinley. Hella cool guy, and he even told me what it was. And I was high as shit. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm so sorry. But this is my dog right here, man. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to this guy. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day as well. He's a homie. Julio Fulio in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The Misty Rainforest in the building. What is up? The homie Josh in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Scale Fins and Feathers. Noble Family. Geckos in the building. Sex and Flexing podcast all day, every day. Go fuck with these guys, please. These are the homies. Appreciate you so much. Trap Talk Patreon members all day, every day as well. The Real George of the Jungle. What's up, player? Thanks for being here. The homie Zach from MW Herpetological. Thanks for being here. And we're going to end this in style, man, because I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm not even going to lie. We're going to end this with my boy, Brandon Wheeler, one of my local homies. But seriously, a real deal Holyfield when it comes to keeping these python species. He's tapped in, man. This guy knows what he's doing. Awesome father. And I look up to him a lot when it comes to this reptile stuff. So give him a follow right now. My boy, Brandon Wheeler, Morelia House. Brandon, let's put that barbecue on the schedule, buddy. Let's do it. Our wives need to hang out. And soon our sons will be hanging out. I just hope Cash isn't too hard on my kid, man. Because Cash is no joke. I love the kid, man. He seems like a sweet boy, though. But anyways, guys, listen. It is game time. Are you guys ready? Have I starved you enough? More than 2 weeks. What? 17 days? No Trap Talk podcasts? Guys, I'm back. All right. And I'm coming back in proper form. I got my boy Jay Tingle. Jay Tingle is so hard. I'm telling you right now. Loved meeting him when I first met him. We got so many things to talk about. Episode 324. Let's give it up for the big homie Jay Tingle. Jay. You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes,
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it.
I bet you thought this episode was never going to happen, Jay.
I mean, honestly, all day today, I was like, I don't know if it's going to happen.
I'm not going to lie. Thank you so much for being here because I haven't had too many cancellations, especially last minute, but I understand the situation. You're every, I guess, business owner dream when it comes to employees, because as much as either that or you just really didn't want to do this podcast, but either way, you literally called in or you got called into work to go come through for Lori, and you did, and you were still able to make it to this podcast. And I'm happy you're here, bro. Oh my God.
I'm happy I'm here too.
Jay Tingle, what is up, buddy?
I really like the big homie Jay Tingle. That's good. That's good.
You are big homie status. Understand, listen, and you know, you can't really put a timestamp on being a big homie. It's just the way the universe has been working for you, meaning the relationships you have right now are with some of the most important people to me, right? You know, and you get to be with them almost every day, if not every day. You're an important fucking person, man. And so this is awesome. You know, I gotta say, before we kind of tap into what you really keep and what's going on behind you, because this is what people don't understand. Like, Jay's a keeper. He really messes with these animals. I want to know though how you got so lucky to even bump into the position that you even have at the Reptarium, and if you could kind of take us back on when that was.
So honestly, it's one of my favorite stories to tell. So back like when the Reptarium first opened, I used to just go there as just a customer that just like, oh, I want to hold a bunch of other snakes that I don't keep myself. And I got to the point where I was going like every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, spending hours there. This was before COVID when you could spend hours there. And I would just stay for hours and hours and hours and meeting Bruce and Jessica and just talking to like the real like OG staff. And it kind of just, everything just took off from there of just like, you know what, this is a place I really want to be a part of. And basically I just told Brian, like, listen, I want to be a part of this. I want to work here. And he seen the potential in me, and he basically gave me a shot. Now here I am almost 4 years later, and literally I love that place like it's my own little baby.
It's been 4 years already?
Yeah, almost.
What was the first position he gave you?
Oh man, listen, I'm not even gonna lie. I've been fired from a lot of positions at that place. I have been fired, and it's no secret. What did he have me doing first? Cleaning ball pythons and
How do you get fired from cleaning ball pythons, bro?
listen, man, I got like ADHD for real. Like I was too slow. Like I would get distracted. I'm like doing stuff, and he was like, all right.
That would be me, bro. So like I gotta tell you right now, it's one thing when you take care of your own animals, because who the hell's gonna tell you what to do? It's you're on your own time. But the way I look at it, you're like kind of being clocked. Like, hey,
Yeah,
that's scary.
I mean, you know what BHB looks like, so it's like. It wasn't even that I didn't want to do it. I just didn't make the cut. He was like, listen, this is not working for you. So we're going to give you something else to do. And then I think I went to like cleaning geckos, and I was even worse at that because I'm scared of geckos for some reason. They run all over and they bite and they scream. So then that didn't work. And then finally, like, me and Brian just like really started to crush the education program. Because at the time, like when I came in, the education program was like just starting. Like Brian was doing all the events really himself, and then me and him just started to do them. And then next thing you know, like that was like when I just really found my calling of like, okay, this is where I should be. It's like straight up with the education, teaching people, showing people, like letting people enjoy the same stuff that I do. It's not that I don't like to clean, and it's not that I can't clean, but like that job is not for everybody. And I have the utmost respect for the people, especially at BHB and at the Reptarium, that do it, because I can't do it. I can't. That's not the job for me. So
it's funny you say that, man, because you got to understand, you're just like anything that it has a business. You have employees that have certain strengths, right? And you have, your people, and then you have the more behind the office that are really good workers, not being around people. And then you have the ones that are good at it all. This is why I love Barczyk, because he's good at everything. Like he could do, like he is, dude. I mean, you've seen him in action. Like it's like, whoa, dude. Like the guy is just nonstop. He doesn't like here's the thing about me, man. Like I have moods, obviously, right? And the thing is, I would be so afraid to like having one of my moods be kind of affecting a visitor, especially a kid, right? And Barczyk is just so good at making everyone feel welcome. Like no matter who you are, even if you've never met him before, you feel like you've known him. Like, dude, after you meet him, you're like, damn, are we like brothers? Like,
yeah. And I mean, honestly, it's really so true. And I'm happy that like I got to literally learn from the absolute best. Like, and it's crazy. It's great. Like, I love doing shows with him. We make it just crazy. It's just, let's take out everything. Everybody have a good time. Everybody smiling. Everybody laughing. And that's exactly why we do what we do.
And, listen, that's an important piece to what the Reptarium is. It's making sure the people are taken care of. And like, man, we're in a scary place right now, obviously, right? With what's happening with Brian, because now we're looking at a reality of him not being here. And that's way too soon, obviously, to even like to even imagine, right? But that's like, it's something we can't help, it's something like, what if, and there's a lot of powerful tools being used that could all step up to the plate and make sure things are going the way things are going right now, but you being that face, and you being that person taking care of people when Brian's not there, that's what the Reptarium needs that, bro. Like that's, because Brian's only one person, you feel me? And he's been doing it like a workhorse for years. Like he's probably been working himself to the ground. You know what I mean? Like it's just like he just has never stopped ever since he was 15. So, but listen, this is why I value you, and I'm sure he values you a lot and whatnot. And this is why this episode's so important. I'm curious about when you kind of felt like you were in that situation that was a very rare situation. Like, was it a certain moment with Brian or Noah where you felt like, dude, this is like family to me? Like, do you have that story? Was it like on the road? Because you've traveled with them, like you've done so much with them, you know what I mean? Like I'm talking hours on the road, so like what was it that made you feel like you're like, this is my clique now, you know what I mean?
It's crazy, to be honest. I kind of ask myself that like all the time, like when was it the moment that like I was like, okay, like this is my family? And I mean, like when I started working for the Reptarium, so my family lives like out west, like California, Vegas. And when I started working for Reptarium, I actually had like a down payment, like a deposit on an apartment. Like I was moving, I was gone. I was gonna go be with my mom in California and enjoy that life. I was like, I'm done with Michigan. There's nothing here for me. And then here I am now stuck in Michigan because I won't leave the Reptarium, you know, like even with my family being out there, I've had countless of opportunities to do it, to move out there. But like, this is my family now, but I don't have like, I think about it all the time. Like, when is the moment that I was like, oh, I'm a Barczyk? You know, like I don't, I don't even know. Like, I don't even remember what happened. It was just like, I don't know. I'm calling Brian when him and Lori are in Mexico, and I'm like, can you guys come back so I can start working? And it was just like, I don't know. Next thing I know, I'm like sleeping at their house, like waiting for Christmas morning. I don't know really when it happened. It just was something that I think was meant to be, and I'm happy that it happened.
I mean, especially if you love family. I grew up with a great family environment, and I'm very close to just family oriented things. And Lori's that type. Lori's a family oriented type lady, and the Barczyk family is structured like that. You know, you see how she does Christmas, you see how she does holidays, and how Disneyland's or Disney World's an important thing to her. Like that's my type of person right there. You know what I mean? But it's also just very wholesome to be a part of and around something like that. It's like, dude, I hate leaving Brian. Every time I fly and go hang out with you guys, that Tuesday or that Monday, the last Monday of me hanging out before I leave to Detroit and stay at the hotel by the airport, I'm like very sad. Like, and I'm not even saying because what's happening, even before what's happening, I always get sad when I leave. But I got to tell you, if I ever lived in Michigan, all I would ever do is go to the Reptarium. There ain't nothing like, I'm sorry, bro, but I would, my boy, shout out to Krista and Josh, two longtime friends of mine in this game and being longtime supporters. They actually are like 45 minutes from the Reptarium, and they always try to convince me how, especially when I was looking for a house back then, how we should move to the Michigan. And I was like, what? I was like, no, I am sorry. There's nothing you're going to do to convince me to leave San Diego to go live in Michigan. You know, other than like, okay, like I guess unless my whole life is the Reptarium, you know what I mean? Because that's all I would be there for. But
literally me, like I can't tell you how many times I walk in, and even Lori, I'm like, I can't tell you even how many times this week Lori's like, so what's up? Like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, bored. I don't know. I'm just here. Like, just here to be here.
Yeah. What, you guys need anything? No.
Yeah, literally. I love it. So
I will say though, man, if I could if I could maybe pinpoint what it was or what time it was where I felt like you were like in it, because I met you one time where I was like, man, I seen this guy in videos and like he's cool. And I remember I bought, you're like, hey MJ, you're like, you like no problem asked me to buy you an energy drink. And I was like, yeah, no problem. And I bought you an energy drink. I think it was a Monster or something.
I don't even remember that.
At the gas station. And I was like, no problem. And I bought you one, right? And then the next time I came and visited, I brought you an energy drink. You're like, oh, thanks for remembering. And so we were walking around, and then you go like this and you point. And that's when you were like the poster child for the armadillo, and you're like, yeah, you know, they gotta have a black guy, you know what I mean? And so I'm the black guy.
I mean, hey, listen, every good business has to have at least one, and every great business will only have one.
That picture, you literally look like you were like out of a Gap magazine or something. Like you just look like such an innocent boy. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's funny that you like found that photo and like used it for the thing. I was like, can we please just get rid of that photo, like ever even happening?
I love it, man. But I mean, did you ever feel like did it ever get too much for you? And what I mean by that, like, you know, obviously Brian is putting you in certain scenarios, like, you know, God damn it, man, you're in charge of Drogo in a sense. Like if Brian isn't really around or anyone else, like you're the guy who could take out Drogo. Correct me if I'm wrong or no.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there's never really a sense like where anything like felt too much. And I mean, honestly, it's because the Reptarium is such everything is just a team effort. Like we're all just one big family. So nothing can really ever feel like too much on one of us because we always have somebody else to rely on, you know, whether it's the other staff or calling Lori or Noah or Brian, like somebody is always there. So they do a really good job of making sure like it's never going to be too much for one person.
Right. I mean, let's kind of talk about some close calls that kind of stand out. I mean, here's the thing, Jay, you're confusing me, buddy, because you're talking about being scared of geckos, right? But you are a demon on the street bike. You do street bike crazy ass shit. Okay, that doesn't scare you. You got You got content on your Instagram page of holding scorpions and spiders. What do you mean, my guy? I am so confused.
All right, listen,
what the hell?
Just hear me out. So, like, here's my thing. I don't like anything that's like small and fast. Like, I just don't want to like smash it or hurt it, or I don't know. Like, I would, if a 15-foot retic is right there or a crested gecko, I'm gonna go mess with the retic and somebody else can catch the crested gecko.
Right.
I'm not like a small, fast, run around type of person. You've never really like seen me in action in like Florida when I'm trying to catch a nose, but that was actually the first time that like I ever felt like as a disappointment to Brian. I can't even remember who we were with, but like some crazy big people, and I was trying to catch this freak in the knoll, and Brian literally just looked at me and he was like, "That's sad," and like my heart like sank. I'm like, dang, my dad just said like you're a disappointment, like.
See,
and I'm just scared.
This is why I'm very clear, because like at the end of the day, I'm with you on that. Like the little quick things, the unknown quick fast things.
Oh yeah, I don't like that.
Kind of scare me, because you're right. First and foremost, I don't want to do anything to kill it, right? I don't want to do but really I don't. When it's a spider, I my thing is I don't like spiders. I hate spiders. And I didn't even know that Brian, like not even 2 years ago, he had a huge phobia with spiders.
Oh yeah, huge phobia.
No clue. I didn't know that, because I remember I remember being at the Reptarium and multiple times. I forgot if it was Jay or somebody who was trying to like put a tarantula in my hand, and I don't fuck with spiders. I don't know. I'm good. And certain insects too. Like, those goddamn those beetles with like the legs that are like this long.
Oh yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
That right there, that haunts me. That right there. That will wake me up in a nightmare where I'm sweating balls. I'm not having a good time. But you have some people that aren't even afraid of stuff like that. But then, so it's like, hey, cup of tea.
And I mean, literally, that's me. I like keep tarantulas. I have like hissing cockroaches as pets. But like,
oh no, bro,
a gecko.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah,
I love geckos, but honestly, I just don't. I've been bit by the homie Hank. That's a lychee, and it didn't really hurt, but it just startled me. They're so quick.
They're fast.
And I felt bad because I like flipped. I just flinged the shit out of them. You know what I mean? And it's like natural reaction.
Yeah.
Where I don't. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those. And this is the point I was getting at earlier. Jay, is like, you got people out there who could take bites like gangsters, where like they'll let something latch onto them and they're just like, oh, cool. Yep. I just have like a whoa, like, you know what I mean? And so mad props to people like that. I'm trying to get to that point, right? But then you have herpers, right? Then you have people who like to go hours, drive hours, and then be out there for hours looking for anything and won't find nothing, but they're having the time of their life.
And they're happy. That's not me.
That's not me, bro. I'm so sorry. God bless you. This is why I have this for. Like, I'm good. But listen, this is why, like, and I've been invited herping so many times. I go, guys, you don't want me to go. I'm gonna complain. Unless it's something where like we go for 3 hours at tops, then okay. But if you want to go live out there for a few days, not gonna happen.
You're like, no, that's not for me. Yeah. I'm
good. I rather find out what you're trying to go find, and I'll go buy it, and I'll hang out with it. You know what I mean? And that's the deal with it. But okay, I got to ask you this, Jay. Before I want to kind of get to know you a little bit more pre-Reptarium, because obviously there had to be some sort of relationship with you and animals, right? Like, I feel like you were put on this earth to be around animals, and is that a fact since you were a kid, or what's going on with that?
So yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, like most kids, I was like, I'm gonna be a vet or this, that, or the other.
I said that myself too. It's because I thought, wow, you'd be rich because you're a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Right. But no.
Yeah, it didn't work like that. So honestly, I was like, I want to be a vet. This is my thing, and that was like when I was really young. But I came from a family of educators, so then I got into the field of education, and I was like, oh, I want to be a teacher, and this, that, or the other. And then I actually like found out that teaching just unfortunately wasn't for me, because it's a lot more take home than I want to do. I want to go have a good time with the kids and then call it a day. And I found out that that's obviously nothing of what a teacher is. And I did a couple of odd end jobs. I worked at a vet, and I groomed dogs and all these other animal weird jobs. And then that's why I tell people the Reptarium was like perfect for me, because it took my passion, which is kids. Like a lot of people think that my passions are these reptiles, and it's not. Don't get me wrong, I love the reptiles, but kids are like, that's where my heart is. I love to see the kids light up. I love to teach them stuff. And specifically, actually, special needs kids is really like that's just what I know. My mom did it for 27 years, you know, so I didn't really know anything different. So to be able to work at the Reptarium, it took my passion of kids and then my hobby, which is reptiles, and it just put it into one job. And I was like, oh, this is exactly what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
I will tell you, from growing up my entire life, some of the nicest, purest souls I've ever met were people who worked with special needs. They just have an understanding. It's crazy because understand there's people who just don't understand or give a two shits to understand someone else's circumstance, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost it's a gift. It's really a gift to be able to have the patience to, because I remember seeing kids that had special needs in elementary school to middle school, and like see them throwing fits and throwing like food and like, you know what I mean? And I just always commended and felt like wow, like look at those like people who take care of them. And I just, because I don't know, I feel like I would be like, I would crumble if that was in me in that case. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I feel like patience is a really huge gift that you could have in this life. But when you could do it with helping somebody, it's game changing. You know,
changes everything. Yeah, and right. And luckily, like I said, it came from what I was used to being around. Like I said, my mom did it for literally 24 years or something. It was like just crazy. So I didn't really know anything different. And you have to have a special heart to work with special needs people, and then definitely special needs kids. And like I said, just being able to be at the Reptarium and just work with kids in general. And pre-COVID, we did like sensory friendly night, which was for the special needs kids and stuff like that. So just the Reptarium was the perfect place just to take everything that I loved and literally just pack it in one building. So
right, dude, you're like a great. I mean, I don't know if the yin and yang, like what's that sign? What the yin and yang? You know, am I saying that right? Okay.
Yeah, the black and the white. Yeah.
I don't know which one's good or bad, but I got to tell you right now, you're gonna help Noah out a lot, because Noah that motherfucker is so goddamn funny, and it's hard to ever do anything serious with that guy, bro, because it's just like all you want to do is have fun with Noah. You know what I mean? Like that, and he'll never turn it down. You know what I mean?
Always. That's true.
You know what I mean? He's down for it. And as much as we love Barczyk, Brian Barczyk, you also have a great relationship with Noah. And man, I'll tell you, I really felt like I was really in it with the Barczyks when I got invited to Noah's 21st birthday in Las Vegas. And that's when that's when they're on the RV and actually got to hang out with Noah on a more personal level, and like just I mean, he made me want to just be a kid. Also I want to be a kid anyways, right? But like I feel like I'm in the zone with when I'm around Noah. You know what I mean? And we can't be stopped, type of thing. But like, let me ask you this. I mean, how much do you and Noah kind of go back and forth as far as stuff that needs to be handled at the Reptarium? I mean, because he's very tapped into the editing side of things. Like, the guy is a monster when it comes to the editing stuff. But now here he is in a position trying to get more hands-on with the animals. Are you been helping him with that at all, or what's been going on with that?
I mean, honestly, Noah he's just stepped up to the plate like 110%. Honestly, he's been like editing and behind the scenes before, but he's always it's his dad's business, so he knows what's going on. The only difference now is he's still editing, and now he's just way more hands-on with the reptile. And as far as me and Noah going back and forth, we've never ever had to go back and forth about anything. Me and him work like a team. When I first started working there, we weren't like super close, but just the last year or two, me and him have built an unbelievable bond that I couldn't ask for anything else different. He's a great hard worker, and honestly, like, Lori and Brian are really blessed to have him. He's just amazing at being able to step up to the plate, knowing what needs to be done, coming to work, getting the job done, making sure everybody's still having fun. It's crazy to watch like a little mini Brian just at work, and that's exactly how he is.
It's crazy the power, Because if you really want to think about it, the Barczyks aren't a huge family. They're not humongous.
Right.
But what they're doing just with them, it's very like they're taking over the whole industry.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so nuts. All because they're just loyal and grounded and just doing what the game plan is. They all have a game plan, and you know, Brian's game plans probably scare Lori a lot. You know what I mean? Like I can only imagine, you know, but she stays down with it. And dude, I mean, listen, this is just the beginning too. Like as much as we're thinking like the Reptarium, like think about how many people haven't even been to the Reptarium yet.
I know.
Jay, I'm not joking. The sickest, best reptile zoo in the country. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know who's topping that right now as far as quality, cleanliness. Like, bro, as far as how many people could go, man, I'm just huge fan of it.
Yeah, and I mean, coming from somebody that I've traveled around, like I've been a lot of places, I've done a lot of things. There is Bionic Vinny, my guy. There is no other place like it, and there will never be another place like it. It doesn't matter, you know, what other people try to do. It's just the place that we have built there, and the place that we're going to continue to build will always just, it'll be the best. But that's also the thing, is we're not even looking to be the best, and I think that that's what makes us the best. Is that's not what we're not out here wanting to be better than anybody else. We're just wanting to be the best of the stuff that we want to do for ourselves and make other people happy, which in return is just making it the best.
So Brian, and anyone who's been around in the hobby long enough knows that Brian's not like he's not trying to compete with anybody. This is why he got the fuck out of the show scene, because he got tired of all these people trying to compete with him, and he's like, yo, I'm doing my thing. And I'm sure I know Brian had to do some sharky business deals back in his day with the ball pythons, because that's just how the game was. But if you want to figure out somebody who just was not happy with how his things were going in the reptile game, he pivoted and went YouTube. And he did the smartest thing he could have possibly done, because everyone who's in this game breeds for the most part, right? But does that mean you have to always breed? Does it mean you always need to breed? If you figure shit out, you don't always have to do what everyone else is doing. Brian did his own fucking thing. That's why he stopped going to shows for 10 plus years. And
I think that the biggest thing, honestly, I'd say like the biggest thing that Brian did was he took what he was passionate about, and that's educating. And he found the platform to do it. He found the way to do it. He found it through building the Reptarium. He found it through his YouTube. And that's what he did. That's like, he didn't care really. Yeah, like you said, he's not in it for the competition. He's in it for just what he's passionate about and what he loves doing.
Yeah, nobody motivates me more than him when it comes to shutting your haters up. Like, because he's literally the definition of like, do what you love, be nice, be a nice person, right? Which Brian is a nice person. You know, you do these things in life, you're gonna live a good life. You know what I mean? And I'm realizing, you know, my life has gotten so much easier when I started being nicer to people. And mind you, it was a lot of people who were giving me support, but still, like, I even had a hard time giving people the time of day who supported me. I'm just a dickhead, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once I started learning just to be nicer to people, mind you, don't give me a reason, but I'm just saying, like, once I just found a reason just to be giving more people the time of day, just life just got easier. You know what I mean? And but Barczyk's always been a nice guy, bro. Like, he's just such a wholesome individual. You know what I mean? And you know, we're not gonna just sit here and reach around Brian the whole episode. But I'm just saying, I'm just speaking facts of what they are. And I gotta ask you this: what was your opinion? Not your opinion, but I don't know. You came into this obviously not a breeder, right? Like, do you breed anything, or have you ever bred anything before getting it? Okay.
Never have, never will.
Not important to you, right?
No.
So when you heard about Brian selling a lot of his breeding projects from BHB and wanting to concentrate more on what's happening at the Reptarium, did you feel like that was a good move personally, or did you just really had no thought on that?
I'm gonna support Brian whatever he does. Like, if that's what he thinks that he needs to do, okay. So I don't really have that much hands-on or anything about what's going on over at BHB. So, you know, if that's what he thinks and if that's what he felt like he needed to do, then I'm here for it.
You go on these shows. You've been to a Tinley, obviously. How many? You've been to 2 Tinleys?
So many Tinleys. Yeah, I went to Tinley. Yeah.
What do you think of the vendors and the environment at Tinley's? You like the reptile shows?
Yeah, I like to go. That's a tough question. Can we actually just hold on? Next, no.
Take a minute. If you need to take a minute and collect some things in your head, that's fine. I mean, listen, I'm shows are. I got you on those. I get it. Like they're cool, but Jesus, you know what I mean? Like, it's,
I mean, I like the shows, but it's hard. Like, I'm a different reptile guy than most of these people. Like, I like the animals that I got, but like there's not really like a lot of stuff that I see that I'm like way overly impressed with. One, like I'm blessed enough to work at the Reptarium, so like you got to show me something like
top
really,
down.
Like I mean, yeah, you just got to show me something really crazy to impress me. I like to go to the reptile shows. I like people, so I really just want to go and I want to walk around people and talk, and every now and again see some cool reptile. But like, really, I'm just going because I'm social.
Yeah, I mean that's like my biggest take. Obviously, the reason why I was traveling is because I was doing podcasts, right? But obviously, if I was miserable going to these, I wouldn't do them. But I would have fun. You know, listen, at the end of the day, I love traveling and seeing the people. But when there's a huge crowd of people, all bunch of people looking at ball pythons, I got an hour of that in me, and then I got to go, and then I'll go to my room and do my thing, and then come back and do the podcast, and then I'll leave again because it's just way too much. And like, you know, and it's just kind of just like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't want to I feel uncomfortable, but it's kind of like I need to get out of here. Like I have something in me that goes, I got to get out of here now, and I'm gonna start to sweat a little bit, and I just want to leave, and I'll just leave, you know. But that's the beauty about like when you do travel and go to these shows. I'll make sure, obviously, I'll stay at the hotel connected to the show, so I can just disappear whenever I want. But man, even doing that, it just got old after a while, man. Like I love being home, man. I just love being home.
And see, I'm like the opposite. I want to like be home never. Like I like people. I like to be around people. So I mean, the same reptiles. If Tinley happened with no reptiles, I would probably still go. If everybody still went and I could still just go and walk around and talk to people, I would still go. I just, like I said, I love people, super extroverted. So,
right. Going back to the personal stuff going on with, you know, I don't know, the stuff that interests you. Like we're talking about how, you know, you ride street bikes. Still to this day, you ride street bikes, right?
Yeah, my bike's been in the shop. I'm literally going to pick it up at 2:00 tomorrow. I cannot wait.
Oh, this scares me, Jay. Like, you know, I just, you know, it's just a dangerous, scary thing. I rode motocross, right? And then I had a street bike when I was 18, and I dropped it and almost killed myself. And I was like, that's it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, that gravel, that pavement's very unforgiving, right? Like, like you don't forget hit and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously it just, God bless. What got you into it though, man? What got you into wanting to ride bikes? I have to ask you.
Honestly, my mom rides, so I just
I gotta be mom, bro. This lady just sounds epic. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, everybody says that, but yeah, my mom rides, so like I just kind of grew up around it. Didn't really think twice about it. Next thing you know, I had this kind of bike and this kind of bike, and then boom, I was like on a motorcycle, and now I'm like, this is my like 5th bike. But I did say this bike that I have right now, like, it's my last bike. So whether it breaks or it goes down or whatever happens, like I just I'm done after this. Like, and it like you said, it's a scary thing. You know, last season was really hard for me. I actually lost a lot of people in the bike life that like it's just scary, you know, especially people that like are not doing dumb stuff, that are losing their lives.
They're trying to get to point A to point B. This is like my dad. Like my dad hasn't been writing because he's getting hip surgery and all this stuff. So he has, and I'm so glad because I was like, Dad, why? Listen, Pops, like, because you know he's one of those guys who's like, I know what I'm doing, and I'm like, I get it. I know you know what you're doing, but the
other people,
yeah, you know what I mean. And I just don't want to see my dad going out like that. Like and every time he would come up to my house and hang out, when he would leave, in my stomach, I'm like, this could possibly be the last time I ever see my dad, and I hated that. Like I hate, but my dad's my dad. You can tell him what to do. You know what I mean? And so he loves it. It's kind of like that when that writing shit's in your blood. It's
dude,
it's forever.
like people don't get it. Like wind therapy is real, and I mean honestly, like that's why I also drive a Wrangler, because like that same wind therapy that I get on the bike, I take my doors off, I take the top off, and I'm doing 90 on the highway. And like I need that wind. Like it's something that's just like unmatched.
Your mom rides still to this day?
Still to this day.
What kind of bike she got?
So my mom right now has a Honda Shadow and a Rebel.
Nice.
So they're like, it's not like a street bike, you know, like kind of like a
yeah. It's like in between. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Those are, I mean, because you understand, man, some of these bikes, like you gotta know how to ride these fucking things, like Harleys and shit, like they weigh a ton, and it's and of course, if I ever get a bike, I want something like that, and that's why I'd be like, you know, Barczyk has a sick ass Harley, never rides it, he just keeps it in the garage.
I know.
That's gonna be me. I'm gonna take it out to I'm gonna get all dressed up, take it to the driveway, start it up. All right, that's it. Go right back in.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
It's gonna be me, bro. I swear. If I got stupid money, like that's, I gotta be bored. I gotta have so much money where I'm like, okay, listen, I'm getting myself a Road King or something.
That's why. Listen, when Noah, like, so when I first started riding, when I first started riding my bike to Reptarium, like I told Noah for almost like a year, like get a bike. And he's like, nah. He's like that. The bike stuff just isn't for me for whatever reason. This, that, and the other. And then I don't even remember. I just remember like walking up to him and he's like, I'm getting a Ducati. And I'm like, damn. Okay. I wasn't even saying nothing. I was just like, do it. And that was like, honestly, that was like one of the really like solidifying things that like really brought me and Noah's friendship together. We like both hopped on our bikes and rode up to the lake house in like Grand Rapids, which is like 2 hours. It was like a 2.5 hour drive. And we were like, this was bad. Like we were so over it. We were so done, but it was a good time. It was like a good experience to do, but we have never done that again, ever. That was too far.
And you know, what's funny is like, well, it's not funny, but like I had like, okay. Cause my dad, I told you I was 18 years old. I went straight to an R1, which was the stupidest thing.
Oh, that's what I did. That's what I did. And then I totaled it. Yeah.
The guy who sold it to me is like, oh, you're big. You be, I'm like, all right. And I drove it and I was like, and because I wasn't trying to be ballsy, so I was like, oh, I guess this is doable. But then, of course, like I was like, I want to test this motherfucker out, and all it took was this one bad fucking rainy day. And this is in Washington too. So, anyways, I ate shit, totaled the bike, and I had no insurance on it, mind you, no insurance on it. Just being an idiot at 18 years old, right? So, learned that lesson, that heavy lesson. But then I remember about 10, not even 10 years, I want to say like 5-6 years later, my dad gets a oh my god, what are the Honda CBRs?
Oh yeah, CBR. Yeah.
So he gets the CBR 600, right? Okay. And he's like, oh man, he's like, I'm gonna deck it out. And so he decks it out, does this thing, and the girl I'm dating at the time, we're hanging out on Easter, and I'm like, Dad, let me ride your bike. I want to ride the bike. And sure enough, bro, I dump his bike, bro. Like,
oh no, MJ.
I couldn't even turn. It's like I forgot how to turn, and I fucking hit the curb. And I fucking he was so like oh man, dude. And so I was like, that was it. I was like, I'm never getting on a street bike ever again. This is my calling to just leave this shit alone. And my dad, bro, dude, he just loves that shit, man. But anyways, I gotta ask you, people like you, I feel like are into venomous stuff. Are you into venomous stuff?
Oh my. No, I'm scared of geckos, dude. Come on. No.
You don't have venomous, but you're holding tarantulas, and so I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, no.
So, okay.
Mm-mm.
So
I don't even have like the most venomous thing that I have is a hog nose. I don't even hold that. Like I don't have like really good like reaction time or reaction, like how you're like, oh, you throw stuff.
Right.
Like I don't know if you've seen my eel video with me and Brian. I was touching that electric eel, and Brian is literally standing next to me, like holding his hands up like this because he knows like how dramatic I am. So when something bites me or strikes, like normally I'm flinging stuff. So yeah, venomous and me, just no thanks. Mm-mm.
Your cages look pretty player from what I can see, and I'm just curious what you keep in all these. What's going on behind you?
So I got like just a mixture of everything. Like I got a Dumeril's boa. Like, let me just tell you everything.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, you can bust down. I'm curious.
Yeah. So I'll just start. I got a Dumeril's boa. I got just a bearded dragon. I've got a frilled lizard, Burmese python, Mexican black, leopard gecko, ball python, a boa. It's like a red tail boa. I've got a leucistic retic, a hognose, another ball python, a bull snake, 2 leopard geckos, a white throat, another red tail boa, a tegu, and then upstairs I got like a gator and a Asian water monitor. I got 2 chameleons, 2 hissing cockroaches, a tarantula, and an unknown that it just hangs out in the cage because I'm scared of it.
Hear me out. You could totally pass on this.
Yeah.
You could totally fucking stiff arm me and say, MJ, I'm not down with this, but you could also go with it too.
I'll do it.
Steps. I'm looking at 42. Well, not, I mean, yeah, I could see them. 42 super dwarf eggs that are due like any day now, right?
Okay.
I say we do a giveaway on that hognose. I say we get that fucking hognose out of your collection, and if you do that, I'll give you a super dwarf baby that will literally just floor your mind, and that way we will never have to deal with ever you having to say you have a hognose in your collection ever again.
I know, MJ, but his name's DJ. And like, okay, so here's the
if he's a home, okay, listen, I didn't know if this was something just kicked down to you and you're like, what do I do with it? But if you have a name, if you have a relationship, I get it. I'll leave that alone. I'll respect it. I get it.
I know, but I'm also interested in one of these retics. I literally just said today, I was like, I need one more retic. Like,
listen, hold on to the hognose because I don't want to do that to you, and we'll still do the retic thing. I promise.
We'll talk about it. I'm actually at the point in my collection right now. I just like rehomed a couple of things, but right now I'm at the point in my collection where like everything I have like is my baby, you know, except a couple of leopard geckos could go. I love them, but like, it's okay. But everything else, you know, like I have like a really good connection with, even like with as much as I'm not like a big ball python fan, like one of these ball pythons is like the one that I've had like literally since I was like 18, you know, so it's just like, all right, I might as well just keep it now. So,
you know, I try not to get too snobby about the whole ball python thing because literally, like after discovering Barczyk, I went ham on getting tanks and decking them out with hides and fucking fake plants. And I, at night, like a fucking grown ass child, would watch this ball python just roam around its enclosure. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I did. You know what I mean? That was like 6 years ago. That was only 6 years ago.
6 years ago. Oh God.
6 years ago. This is 6 years ago, which isn't that long, right?
No.
And I transitioned pretty quickly. Now I'm just like, get that fucking thing away from me. You know what I mean? But I have to remember, like, dude, it is a cool animal. I like it. Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's why I love the whole pet side of the industry. You know what I mean? And I became a big like fan of what's happening with the pet side of the industry because they're putting a lot more effort into like how they could better the well-being by a ball python in a 4x2 enclosure.
Right.
And the thing is, if you're willing to put the mind power behind it and the effort, you're going to do great. But if you're a neglector and you're lazy and you think you could do that, then no, you're not going to. You just have to be willing to go the extra mile. And that's kind of what this industry needs, are people who are willing to go that extra mile. So that's why I give the pet keepers like yourself. You're obviously a pet keeper side of what we have going on. So 100%. Huge. You guys are important to what we have, man. You guys are kind of creating good examples. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's honestly, that's why I love the variety that I have in my collection. You know, like I don't need 20 ball pythons. Like why? You know, I'm not breeding them. And honestly, the ball pythons that I do have is a normal and a pastel. Like that's literally, you know, like that's it. My normal I've had obviously for forever. And then the pastel is just like somebody was just like getting rid of it. So I was like, sure, I'll take it, you know, but it's still, I like to be able to have the variety of like, here's this snake, which is a very common snake. And then, you know, I have a black-eyed leucistic retic. So, you know, it's just like, I have like a nice variety of things, and you know, with the lizards and everything, I just want some of everything. I got dogs. There's a lot going on in this house of mine. So,
oh my gosh! And who do you live with, if you don't mind me asking?
It's just me and my girlfriend.
Okay,
and
nice.
A lot of animals. Yeah.
How long have you been with your girlfriend for?
It's a couple months, but it's
okay. Good. So it's fresh. It's
fresh.
No, I mean, Noah, listen, I'm happy for Noah, man. He seems like he's found the one, you know what I mean? But they're kind of fresh too. They haven't been together forever, but you know what? Hasn't been a year yet?
No, I'm not sure exactly. Maybe 8 months now or something. Maybe 10 months. I have no idea, to be honest.
But you're the middleman for that. Didn't you introduce him? Wasn't that you?
Yeah, me and Gabby have been friends for a while, and then they took off from there. I'm super happy though for both of them. It's like kind of like a dream come true for me, for like both of my best friends to be dating, because now we just all hang out all the time, so it works out great.
I mean, I can't think of a better situation either, to be honest. If it's
exactly
two people you love the most, you know what I mean, and you hang out with them that much, it is pretty just wholesome to see them together. And you know, I don't know. I think everything happens for a reason, right? Like, you know, I'm a big believer why stars align, right? And
oh yeah,
I think this is great. Now with your girlfriend, right? Well, the one that you're that you been together with for the last few months. How is she with the animals? Is she kind of just a natural with them, or is she something that like, do your thing, I'm gonna go upstairs and, you know, put on Netflix or something? How's she when it comes to that?
So natural is not the word that I would use. She's definitely coming around though. I have one leopard gecko named Justin that she like absolutely loves and adores, and every now and again I can get her to like touch the snakes. She will do it, but she doesn't have like a super big interest. She likes Pete the alligator and Justin the leopard gecko. Everything else is more like she'll sit next to me if I have like my Burmese python out, but like I haven't got her to like really hold it yet.
So
and my cockroaches, she hates my cockroaches. Every day I come home.
God bless. I wouldn't. Yeah, she should hate your cockroaches. That's just weird, bro. Like, come on. No, that should be normal. Like, that should be normal for anyone to hate cockroaches, I think.
No, I love them.
But you know, also too, like my wife, right? Like, she wasn't against any reptile, but definitely wasn't trying to be this involved. Like, she wasn't trying to be like, holy shit. But yeah. She found out how happy it made me, right? That was the first and foremost. You want to know how I really got her? Want to know how I got her? Ball python money, man.
What? Yeah, I mean, yeah.
She loved it. She loved it. And that without her seeing that, I wouldn't be able to like let her leave me alone and do my thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why it's like, you know, I'm very happy that I'm in the game the way I am, but I'm trying to do everything I can not to rely on ball python money now. Like, that's exactly what I don't want to be in. And I've been working hard at this for like the last 2 years. I'm not there yet because the ball python, I still have amazing ball pythons that I make and they sell. But man, I could totally see the pivot, how anyone could come into this breeding and then maybe not being so much of a breeder and just keeping, you know, like I could see how that happens now. You know what I mean? It's scary. It's scary to have to rely on money from breeding. Like and that's it's not, I just have been so like, I guess you could just call it like out of the loop, but it's really just because I'm like I have no interest in breeding. I'm not against it. I don't really care like one way or another. You know, I'm not like, don't do this or do this. I literally just have zero interest in it, which then comes with not a lot of knowledge behind it, just because it's just not something that I'm interested in. Like I said, I'd rather have one of all of these reptiles that I have than have a bunch because I have to breed them, and I'm just, no thanks. How much of like the dog breeding side of stuff do you know? Like, have you ever tapped into any kind of dog breeding stuff or no?
Dog breeding, no, but my dog knowledge is like crazy. I mean, dogs were really my thing like for a while. The breeding I never also got into, but it was because I was more like on the show thing. I used to be like a show dog groomer. So like I was used to going to the shows and being around it, but never got into breeding. That was just also like, I'm just not interested. I mean, I have like an Irish Wolfhound, which he's like 6'8". Like when he stands up, he might be like a little bit taller now. And I just like to have really rare breeds of dogs that like make people go like, oh, what is that? So
the reason why I ask you is because, and I know my wife's listening, babe, relax. This is just a precaution thing because I want a third dog. I really want a third dog. I think a third dog would be cool. And she's like, what the, like, no, we're good. I'm like, hold on. And can I show you the dog I really want? And go easy on me, because I showed this to a couple other people and they were like, bro, hell no. Don't get that.
Just show me.
I'm like, dude, what's wrong? If you get that, you're the biggest piece of shit. I'm like, why? What's
Just
wrong?
show me.
And
Just
so
show me.
is this true? And like, I don't want nothing against this breeder, but I'm saying, like, are these dogs bad?
Oh yeah, don't do that. Now,
why?
okay.
Tell me. Okay, break it down for me because I don't know why. Like I think it's sick, but what happens? Tell me, please.
So, I'm not gonna go crazy into the dog thing, right? Because
it does look weird.
Here's just what I will say. There's some people that breed these dogs that, think whatever, that they're healthy and they're okay. But I mean, honestly, MJ, just look at that dog and then look at what you really know about dogs and the way they are supposed to look, And then I'll just leave it at that. Like, just use your own knowledge. If that's what you're into, then so be it. But like, what I would say is like, that's not a dog that I personally would ever buy. And I mean, I have a bully breed. I have a bull mastiff pit mix, and I have a cane corso bull mastiff mix. So I have nothing against bully breeds or anything like that. But those little micro bullies, it's like if you seen a Rottweiler that was 40 pounds, would you get it? No. So. I mean,
I don't know why. Like, it didn't really dawn on me. Like, it does make. Like, if you just sit back and look, you're gonna see that it doesn't really look right. I mean, let's be honest. Does this look right? Does that look right?
I mean, yeah. Would you buy that? Like,
no.
Would you buy that? Right?
2 hot dogs in one bun don't go together. It just don't look right.
Listen, that shit's weird. Get that off the damn screen. That shit's weird. I don't even want to. That shit makes me feel weird. Nah.
Yeah, I can't think about what movie that was. There was a movie, and he's like, "Let me tell you something. Does this look right?" And it was 2 hot dogs in a bun. Anyways, I had to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and here's the other thing about the dogs in general. Like, MJ, I got 3 dogs, and let me tell you, me and my girl, like, literally a couple days ago, just on Tuesday, we were driving the dogs to the groomer. Right, we got all 3 dogs in the car, and she looks at me and she's like, "Did you really think it was smart to get 3 dogs?" As I got like one dog breathing down my throat, another dog just circling the van, like another dog out the window, and I'm like, nah, this was dumb. Like, so just don't do it.
All right, I'm glad, and that's all I need to confirm that. So we're gonna sew that up. I gotta ask you, man. How old are you, Jay?
27.
Still young. I mean, you look 20-ish. Young.
Black don't crack. So.
Yeah, you're good, man. You're gonna look young for a while, but 27, right? I mean, if you could be working with animals for the rest of your life, is that the game plan, or what's going on with Jay and the future? If you don't mind me asking.
I mean, MJ, I need you to hear me. I'm not leaving Michigan right now because of the Reptarium. So I think that I'm stuck here for as long as the Reptarium exists. I don't really foresee myself.
Stuck by choice.
Stuck by choice. I mean, here's the thing. If the Reptarium wants to pack up somehow and move to some other state, I would be happy because I want to be out of Michigan. But honestly, I want to be that keeper that's at the Reptarium that's like, yep, I've been here since I was 23 years old. Like, I want to be that and when I'm like 50, 60 years old. So I just don't really foresee myself going anywhere. I also like a little bit just like about me, like how I told you, like I worked with dogs, I worked with kids, I worked with the circus for 4 years, like I worked for a funeral home, like the jobs and just the things that I've done. I'm not really a person that likes to plan or like say like, yeah, this is what I am gonna do for forever, because I have no idea. 1 second I was grooming dogs and the next thing you know I was literally juggling, and now the next thing you know I'm at the Reptarium. So like I don't foresee myself leaving the Reptarium at all or anytime definitely soon. But you also never really know what the future brings.
I mean, it's so right, because things, even at 27, you don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 years, 4 or 5 years. I mean, but I could tell you that like, that's an easy statement for somebody who doesn't know what it is that they're doing in life. You kind of have a calling. I feel like you're like, because other than you, another person, I mean, I look up to a lot of people at the Reptarium, Big Mike. But man, one girl, and shout out to all the girls that work at the Reptarium, but one of my favorites for sure, who's been holding it down for a long time, is Jessica. and I want to give mad props to Jessica Saunders, who's literally just been the backbone for the fucking BHB, bro. Like, she is getting it. And you know, how close are you and Jessica? I mean, I'm sure you've worked with her close a lot, or not really. What's going on with that?
I mean, yeah, me and Jessica, we've definitely worked together. Jessica is, I like Jessica a lot. She kind of is always the person where like I'm running and screaming from a get-go, and she just comes up and is like, just it's this easy, right. You know. But and it goes back to just like what I was telling you. There's the Reptarium and BHB and any aspect of that. It's all a team effort, you know. Like we all need everybody that's there. Just to keep it moving.
Yeah, I mean it's a like, you know, an engine, right? You think about how many pistons on an engine, right? It's the same thing. You guys all have a functioning relevancy to how the Reptarium functions. It's like a goddamn engine. You know what I mean?
Literally, literally.
And it's why it is the way it is. So, you know, listen, this is why, you know, and I have Jessica coming on the show, not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. So looking forward to that. I've had her on already, but we're going to be geeking out over all her works in the New Caledonian room, or what's the
New Caledonian room?
Caledonian room, right? Yeah. Sorry, but anyway, she's been doing a lot of good work. But if I were to ask you, and this is going to be a wrap up question before we get into some hot seat questions, okay? Here, Jay.
Oh God.
If there was one dedicated project that you had to be assigned to, like if Barczyk said, Jay, like I have so many important things, but I want to put you in charge of this.
Hands down, I already know the answer.
What is it?
Education.
Of all around, like the whole, like all around education.
Just education and entertainment. Like that's literally that's where my heart is, and I know that that's a really big spot of where his heart is. Like people don't understand, like, you know, Brian's got all of his breeding projects and things going on, but another big thing that's just very, very important to Brian is literally just educating people and seeing those kids light up and seeing them have fun. Like, I don't know if people like really realize that, like, that when you're in 5th grade, when you're in 8th grade, whatever, and that person brings those snakes to your school, like, that is the person that has created me, created you, created Brian. Like, so without that, and if we aren't 110% focused on that also, like, our hobby would die. There wouldn't be anyone to breed snakes. There wouldn't be anybody, you know, to be the voices of all of these things that we like. So that person starting at that very young age for these kids, it's important. It's a lot more important than people like really stop and think about, I think.
I totally lied. I got another rap question for you. Sorry. Only because this was an important one. I accidentally skipped over it, but obviously we're talking about in my book and probably many other books, the #1 reptile YouTuber in the world, Brian Barczyk, right? What's your feelings like with other reptile YouTube content creators? Obviously, you know, me and you both fuck with Big Mike from you know, the Real Tarzan. I just love his style. I love how he's really passionate. He's really, you could just tell, like, this guy really knows his shit about animals and he's really about it, right? But you know, obviously you have some that kind of take advantage of certain algorithms that create more of the extreme side of things that is just unnecessary stuff, right? Did any of that kind of stuff bother you, or do you just tend not to even kind of put any kind of mind thought into it?
If you want to know the truth, I'm so like, I can't even really tell you. I like really stay out of like any part of the social media. I mean, like, you see even like my following, I like just post the stuff that makes me happy, but I'm not like a super big YouTube watcher, not even a big TV watcher in general. I don't have a lot of say or opinions on, honestly.
All right, pause. If I were to go pull out a fucking forest cobra, right? And I was like, hey, Jay, check this out, man. I had it over my neck and I'm like this showing you. Would you be like, MJ, that's fucking sick, bro? Or would you be like, hey, maybe get a hook or something? Or I'm being serious. Like, how do you view somebody free handling and just going at it thinking, listen, I know this animal more than anybody, I'm good, and kind of putting that kind of, like, I guess, example out there for any kind of young person trying to come up in the game?
I mean, I guess, if you're going to go and do something stupid, it's just like, you just have to use your head. And I mean, anybody, like, people just need to think with their head, but also something that, like, I might think is stupid, somebody else might not think is as stupid. And that's literally that, like, exactly what you just asked me is one reason why, like, as much as I don't want to, it's easier for me to stay out of it. And like I told you before, I'm not really going to go and dibble and dabble in stuff that I don't have a lot of knowledge on. Right. And venomous is definitely being one of them. I don't have a big interest in it. So therefore, just naturally, it comes with, like, not a lot of knowledge about it. Now, do I know that I'm not going to go pick up a forest cobra? No, I'm not picking up. I just told you I barely want to pick up my hognose, Like, so it's just, and that's me using my head, That's because, like, I just know for myself. So I stay out of it.
It's like that's the most safest bet in almost any situation if you just stay out of it.
Yep.
It's kind of hard when you have a podcast, unfortunately, but at the end of the day, listen, it's
why I don't have one.
Because Jay would stay out of it because Jay has more important shit to attend to, animals, and just, you all know that takes energy. Like, if you're going to take time putting your hands into other people's shit, that's going to drain energy from you. And some people just don't even want to waste energy. So taking some pages out of your book, buddy, I got to say, this is a great podcast. I'm glad you made this happen. Hot seat questions, though, before you dip out. So you're not going to just leave here thinking you're all cool and shit. You got hot seat questions, bro. And it's about to get hot. Okay, guys, listen. We had over 100 people in the live. If we could get the likes up right now for the homie Jay, because he's about to get served with these hot seat questions, that would mean a lot. And honestly, this was a great podcast. How many reptile podcasts have you done so far?
This one.
There you go. I knew the answer to that, by the way. So here we go. Listen, hot seat questions for Jay Tingle. Let's get the likes up.
Oh,
you ready for what? You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, here we go. Jay Tingle is feeling tingles over these hot seat questions.
Okay, come on.
Here we
go.
Come
on with the jokes.
Frozen thought or live?
Frozen thought.
Egg cut or no cut?
Egg cut.
On what day?
I don't even know.
If it was a ball python egg, what day would you cut a ball python egg?
Can I have a multiple choice option?
Yeah. So let's say day 80, day 55, or day 40.
Pass.
Come on, you gotta pick. I give
55.
You okay,
55.
Good job. There we go. That's a great answer. Good answer. Red chondro neo or yellow chondro neo?
Red.
Pre-first shed meal or post-first shed meal?
Post.
Yay imports or boo imports?
Yay imports.
If it came down to you importing any reptile around the world, no matter what it was, no matter how much space it took, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, what would it be?
Oh my God.
Anything.
That's too. I couldn't pick. I would probably.
Just one. Think of one. Just think of one right now. Think of one.
So sad.
It's getting hot. Hognose? What'd you say?
No, fuck off. Normal ball python.
I guess. Okay. How about this? What's one reptile nobody should ever import that you could think of? Like, what's one, or even animal? Like one thing, like just leave it alone. Don't touch them. Leave them where they need to be. One that stands out. Jesus.
Dude, it's so bad. Can we skip this one?
No, dude. This isn't how it works. What about the turtles? You not care about turtles?
I know, but there's so much that I care about.
But we're just thinking of one right now, man. If there's so many, you could say one.
Yeah, but then I feel like I'm putting. So see, here's the thing. You have to remember, like, I got like a lot of stuff going on in this brain. So if I feel like I pick one, then I'm putting that before it. Can I skip? Thank you.
I mean,
I'm skipping.
I'm gonna get harder with these questions. Then I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Lauren, listen. Just so you know, you can't normally pass. Like we would sit here until you would leave if that was the case. But listen, I'm gonna give you a pass on this, okay? Just because of your resume and the stripes on your jacket, I'm gonna let you pass on this one. Yay sports or boo sports?
Yay.
Favorite sport?
Track and field.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but I could have sworn it was going to be a different sport. And I'm not saying basketball or football. I just was not expecting track and field. You got
Hold on. Stop. MJ. Do I look like I play football? Look at me. I weigh 138 pounds. I'm not fucking playing football. I am the football. What the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not playing football.
Oh my gosh. Big flexor or no flexor?
No flex. No.
Steak or fish?
I don't eat red meat and I have a seafood allergy.
Wow. So what do you eat?
Chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Van Halen or Sammy Hagar? Okay. Make this easier. Snoop Dogg or Biggie?
Snoop Dogg.
Respect. Little word association. First thing to come to mind. Milk.
Eggs.
Substrate.
Reptile Prime.
Stuck shed.
Soak it.
Favorite animal at the Reptarium?
Oh. Jay Tingle.
Wow. You're the favorite animal? That's weird. You called yourself favorite animal, I guess. Respect.
Yeah. It's because I can't pick too many. I can pick a least favorite probably.
Favorite person to work with at the Reptarium on a weekend?
Brian Barczyk.
I mean, I should have X'd him out, but it's okay.
Okay, fine. Lori Barczyk. You got to X her out too? Favorite person to work with? Jay Tingle.
Okay. God. It's going to keep saying. Here we go. Instagram trolls.
That's what comes to mind.
One reptile show you would like to attend that you haven't been yet? Take your time.
One reptile show. Hard because it was always like March Tinley and now I went. So
what about the super shows on the West Coast? Well, you don't want to come to a West Coast show and visit your boy, or I mean, that's where you're from. You don't want to go to your hometown and go to a West Coast show?
I'm from here. My family just lives there now. But I mean, I just don't know any of them. Like,
okay, how about this Anaheim Reptile Super Show? You down to go to that maybe someday? That'd be cool.
Yeah, but I actually think that I've been to that before.
Wow. What about Pomona?
Have not been there.
Okay, let's go with Pomona. You down with Pomona? All right,
yeah.
Last one. Wow. Okay, here we go. Last.
No, I like these. Can we just keep them coming?
If it came down to you getting rid of one platform forever, and I mean forever, you can never bring it back. Is it going to be Facebook or Instagram? Which one needs to go? Forever. Never coming back. You can never bring this shit back.
Probably I would have to say Instagram. Yeah.
Instagram? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, only because, like, listen, when I'm like really looking for somebody, like if I'm like, oh yeah, where's this person at now in life? 8 times out of 10, I find them on Facebook before I find them on Instagram. I'll find their Facebook and then find their Instagram, but
hold on. Last minute bonus hot seat question. What are your thoughts on being someone who pays to be verified on Instagram?
That's so stupid. That's stupid, and it's honestly just not fair. Like, it should not be allowed. That's dumb. That's dumb. Did you do that?
Hey, Jay, say what?
Did you do that?
Wow. Jay, all right. Jay Tingle, ladies and gentlemen, fucking way to go. No, listen, Jay, check it out. For real.
Tell me.
First and foremost, no, I did not. Okay.
I'm fucking with you.
We had over 100 people tapped in for this episode. We got a lot of people ride for you, man. A lot of people who are just basically on the same kind of energy that I'm on with you. What do you have to say to everyone out there who supports you, supports the Reptarium, the Barczyks, the whole dream and mission? What do you have to say to everyone out there?
I just want to say thank you to everybody. Also, we appreciate the support. Any support we get, it is much, much, much appreciated. More appreciated than you guys know. Keep up the love. Come visit us at the Reptarium. Definitely come and see us. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out.
Jay, thank you so much for coming through and doing this for me. Honestly, man, this was well overdue, but won't be the only time I'll have you on the show. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much. It's a wrap for Jay Tingle of the Reptarium, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up.
See you guys. Oh, that's.
See you later, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah.
What a good soul, man. I love Jay. I could seriously talk to this guy forever. But man, the guy's busy. He's got called in on his day off, and let him enjoy his night. Really good show. Thank you to everyone who tapped in. Over 100 people here for this episode on my comeback, and I got to say thank you so much for giving Jay, my guest, the time of day, because he deserves it. The guy's awesome. Really good-hearted person in the reptile industry, and I'm proud to call him my friend. And so, yeah. Thank you so much. Guys, I got to say, it feels good to be back. Looking forward to the rest of the shows cracking off this week. Sunday, we are back. Holy Gecko Sessions. Somebody who actually started a podcast with AJ Davison. AJ is somebody I've had on the show, and he started a podcast with this guy, Harry. It's called The Gecko Pod. Okay. Harry's page on Instagram is called Zero Geckos. Okay, so this Sunday, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, Holy Gecko Sessions. We have Harry from Zero Geckos and also from the Gecko Pod, the other half of the Gecko Pod. So I cannot wait, man. We're getting back to business with gecko content. We're going to get back to business on the market talk with geckos and a bunch of really cool stuff. And then Sunday, after Sunday's episode, tap in with the Patreon family and myself. Okay. If you're looking for exclusive content, if you want to get a lot more than what you see on these shows, go down to the very first link that you see in the description below and join the Trap Talk Patreon family. As soon as you join the Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord, and that will tap you in with over 160 trappers, okay? But yeah, we're going to be getting together after Sunday's podcast for our Zoom meeting. There's a lot of face-to-face type catching up we need to do this Sunday, and that happens right after Sunday's episode. Cannot wait to tap in with all my Trap Talk Patreon members. I love you guys. Thank you for the love and support. And yeah, again, don't forget that tonight's episode was brought to you by Sim Container. Shout out to John and Alex over at Sim Container. If you got eggs, put them inside of a sim box. Less steps, less stress. If it's a sim, it's a win. And also, this episode is brought to you by the one and only Reptarium, #1 reptile zoo in the country. Make sure you get over to the Reptarium. Go follow them on Instagram, and make sure you keep your prayers and your positive thoughts for the Barczyks. Brian, we're here for you, buddy. Thank you, Jay. You're awesome. And thank you out there. Thank you again. I cannot thank you guys enough for spending your time here and tapping in and just giving me the time of day. I appreciate you guys. I really do. And oh yeah, by the way, Monday, okay, we have a do-over episode. And I don't know how many times I've done this, never. But I deleted an episode from somebody I had on. And I like the guy a lot. I like the guy enough to where we have to bring him back on and redo the episode. So Monday it's going down, my homie Patrick from Dragon Soul Reptiles, okay? New breeder on the block, the do-over with the homie Pat. All right? Getting back down to business. And then, of course, Tuesday, we're back to Tuesday, Fat Snake Tuesdays with Garrett Hartle from Reach Out Reptiles. A lot of stuff happening over in the retic community right now. It is nuts. We're going to talk a lot about it. Be ready. Set your reminder because the trap is back, baby. Coolest reptile podcast in the world. Please enjoy the rest of your night. And also remember, go to Trap Exotics on YouTube. Set your reminder for my back-to-back vlogs being dropped tomorrow. 7:45 a.m. premiering and then 8:45 a.m. Okay? First one is going to be the Green Tree Python clutch that I just pulled this week. And the second one is a documentary I did on my boy Elsham, a.k.a. Lawrence Oliveri, his road to black belt. Pretty savage time, and it was great to watch. And then, yeah, just be ready, man. I am so glad to be back. And thank you guys again. Have a good night. I'll catch you guys here Sunday for that Holy Gecko session. And Jay Tingle, keep it player. I'll catch you guys here Sunday, and I'm out.